YouTube faithful, what's going on? It is Thursday. We have NFL primetime tonight. We have 3 NBA games today. We have a situation where we could do 2 NBA plays and 2 NFL plays, and that is exactly what I'm going to try to do for the YouTube faithful today, right here live, and I'm going to try to make it 15 minutes or less. Now, if you stumbled across this channel and clicked the thumbnail, I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Go ahead and hit the subscribe if you're interested in daily fantasy football videos, NBA videos. I also cover MLB all season long, even WNBA. I cover all the popular sports to help you with your process along the way. So all I ask is you like and subscribe and possibly leave your boy a comment. So with that in mind, grab your Red Bull, which I got right over here to the right, grab some popcorn, and let's hopefully conduct a master class, ? First, we will go with the NBA, and I'm going to keep it a buck with you guys. Yesterday was rough. Yesterday was rough. NBA the last 2 or 3 days have been rough. There's no question about it. But here's the thing you guys have to understand. Just because you made a good read or a good play does not mean you're going to win. If it was that easy, none of these books would be taking your action, and you wouldn't be on this YouTube channel looking for advice. Everybody would just be money. It'd be a free money printer. It ain't that easy. At the end of the day, it's still a game of chance. We're making educated decisions based on data we're provided. That's it. That's all we can do. And in the long run, we're hoping to get a 3 to 5% return on our investment. As bad as it is, whatever your individual outcome of that day is, it can always get better. So you need to keep a strong mindset. Don't chase your losses. Just keep trusting the process and grind on. Eventually, you'll have that Nagasaki day where everything goes right as it should and you'll crush. Blowouts in the NBA are a dream killer if you have overs. If you have unders, well then it's great news. But if you're on the overs, it's tough sledding when you get a blowout. Example, with the guy that I'm about to talk about, Chris Paul, yesterday, he played 19 minutes. His team got blown out of the gym. His fantasy score at 31.5. Am I going to it? Absolutely. Yesterday, he only played 19 minutes. It's an outlier game. It's gonna happen. There's gonna be blowouts, fella. There's gonna be things that don't go your way. But he's in a decent matchup, a pace-up spot. I'm gonna go right back to the well. If he sells, well, then he sells. It's that simple. Brother, you're gonna lose once in a while. So if he sells, he sells. I don't know what to tell you. But what we can do is we can look at the data and we can see if we're making the right play. And I just so happen to have it right here. So Chris Paul, in a total of 8 games this season, he's averaging only 28 minutes. But keep in mind, that's factoring in last night where he only had 19. His usage rate is 17%, which is good. Usage rate is the ball in his hands quantified into numbers, okay? So the more times the ball's in your hand, the higher your usage rate's going to go. So when you're looking at fantasy points on person to take over, you want to target guys with a high usage rate regardless of who's on the floor. Now, for whatever reason in this particular PDF that we put this in, it's not showing the fantasy point per minute column, but he does average 1 fantasy point per minute, okay, this season. So his season average of fantasy points is 31.9. The line's 31.5. Yesterday it was 32. So his line is right at his average so far for the season. If he plays 32 minutes tonight, which he should, he's going to be fresh. They did just get blown out. I'm sure they're going to want to bounce back as a team. He should get roughly 32 to 33 fantasy points. So for that reason, I'm going to go right back to him at 31.5. It's really that simple. And then for the trifecta, you go over to DG, you can see his line at 31.5. If you factor in all the stats that MGM's putting out, they're giving it a score of 33, which is giving us a slight edge at 55%, which means I'm going to take it. Now, yesterday, Chris Paul sold me. He sold everybody. I had his assist. I had his fantasy score in 1 or 2. I think I had his points assist. So, yes, it doesn't feel sexy to go back to a guy who just played 19 minutes and sold your parlay, does it? No, but we're going right back to the well, and I'm telling you, if he sells, he sells. Look at this upside, 47, 38, 38, 36. I will give him another shot, and I don't feel bad about it. If you want to fade because you banned people, well, then God bless you. If you wanted to take his points plus assists, which is probably one of the most popular plays on the board today, you could do that as well. So that's play number 1 that I like for the NBA. And then play number 2 that I was going to talk about was none other than Kobe White at 27.5 points, rebounds, assists. I was able to lock him in at 25.5 right before the bump because I assumed that Levine was going to sit. And whether or not he sits tonight is anybody's guess right now at the time of this recording, but I did get value at 25.5 points, rebounds, assists. I posted it in the cord quickly. It was removed seconds later, but you could go right back to it. You could just take his points. You could take his points plus assist at 23.5. You're going to want to pay attention to injury news in this game. It's going to be critical. Plus, the matchup is kind of tough. But again, let's go back to DG, and you can see his RA is juiced under. His first quarter points juiced under, but his points assist is 24.5 on FanDuel. It's 23.5 everywhere else, giving us a slight advantage. I wouldn't really call it a big advantage. And you can see the same thing here with the PRA. It's 28.5 on FanDuel and everywhere else. So I'm telling you right now, if you were lucky and got it in at 25.5, that's good. But I did just want to show you this because I was able to get it at 25.5 because I use DG Fantasy every single day. It was popping up and I got 2 points of value like that. So that is why you want to have a tool like this. It pays for itself in the long run. You can also use code CRUSH and get 25% off your first month. Win-win for everybody. And I throw in 30 days of the Discord. So now Kobe White's up to you, comment guy. It's a gut call on your part. You got to decide what you're going to do. Now real quick, let's go to Outlier Bet and look at these games. You can see it's a 4-point spread favoring the Spurs, which backs up my Chris Paul play. They're still favored to win. Utah Jazz, this is an abysmal spread. I would want to target the Milwaukee Bucks, but look at these teams, 1-6, 1-6. Who would have thought the Bucks would be 1-6? Giannis is always in play. I don't need to tell you guys that. The Bulls and the Wolves, it's also Chicago's plus 8.5, so that does kind of hinder Kobe White. You can always use those as guides, but don't try to predict the blowout in the NBA. It's a fool's errand, my brothers and sisters in Christ. I'm telling you, it's a fool's errand. But real quick, Keontae George, 5.5 assists. The Bucks are ranked 23rd in assists allowed, and the Utah Jazz faces them tonight. Now, last season, guards versus the Bucks was a trend. Is it going to be the same thing this season? I'm not exactly sure yet. It is trending that way where shooting guards and point guards are doing well against the Bucks. There still isn't enough data. 7 games isn't enough sample size to determine anything. But I will say this, Keontae George has been getting minutes 38, 32, 30, 30, 36. His minutes have been trending up. Assuming the game isn't a disaster blowout, I think he has potential to get 6 assists tonight. 9 potential in Chicago, 16 in Denver, 7 against San Antonio, 15 against the Kings, and 12 against Dallas. So on average, he's getting roughly 10 to 11 potential assists. So he only has to hit 50% of his potential assists to cash this line. It's a good matchup for him. And if you go look at DG right quick, you can see Pinnacle has it priced at minus 133. It's minus 133 on DraftKings, Caesars. It's all across the books. Pretty much a decent odds to go over in our favor. So with that in mind, I'm going to give little Georgie a shot at 5.5 times. Now, like I just spoke on, it could be a disaster class if this game blows out, but the Milwaukee Bucks are also 1-6. They may not be blowing out anybody. And then on the flip side, if you want popularity type stuff, Giannis is always in the mix regardless. And if you are afraid of the blowout, I would say look to his first half, because who knows if he's going to play the full allotment of minutes. But you can see his points rebounds under at 42 is 41.5 everywhere else. So if you do lock it in, you're getting half a point of value. His rebounds less 11.5 is also minus 135. I'll never forget I had him more 11.5 rebounds the other day. Last Thursday, Halloween against Memphis, he had 9 rebounds at the half, and then he didn't get there. He hooked at 11, and it was a $1,500 6-leg parlay on Underdog. It would have been cinema if he just got one more rebound. Remember, he had 9 at the half. That happens. Guys, another thing, my second half method is as crispy as it gets. Let me tell you something real quick. Story time with old Crush. Yesterday, Jason Tatum, 4 rebounds was what he finished with. He had 5 rebounds at halftime, folks. 5 rebounds at halftime, and he finished with 4. How is that even possible? They removed one because stat corrections, and then he just didn't grab another rebound the entire game. Just because you're seeing it happen the first half doesn't mean it's going to continue into the second half. Same thing with the last 5 games. It's just how it goes. Tatum had 8 points or 9 points at halftime, and he finished with 32. So not only did he go over 30 to chalk me, he also sold on his rebounds. But if you would have used the second half method, you would have cashed him on both of those things, which is why it's so important to know what it is and know how to cook it, okay? People make decisions based on the last 5 events or what they're seeing in front of them. That's human beings. It's just how we're wired, which is why live betting is so profitable for these books. They love it. They love it. It was only a matter of time before PrizePicks added it into their toolbox because they are a money printer. And that's what they do. So those are the NBA things that I wanted to talk about. You can look at this popular play tab and see everything there. If you're interested in any of that, God bless you. I personally am going to try to find another path to victory. But now for the main event, all the smoke is cleared. We got the Baltimore Ravens facing the Cincinnati Bengals once again on prime time. Thursday night football, short week. What's it going to be? Well, let me tell you something right now. Football has been a godsend. Right around here, we're week 10. We're starting to see things more clearly. Hopefully, we can continue that trend. Now, right out of the gate, I don't even need to sell you on it because you already know Derrick Henry's anytime tutty is always going to be in the mix. He's just Derrick Henry. He's King Henry, baby. He's King Henry. He's always in the mix. I don't care what anyone tells you. Oh, it's a bad play. Oh, no. He's the only popular play guy that could be considered because he's King Henry. Now, what I personally liked for King Henry was going to be his longest rush yards, which is 20.5 now, but I was able to get it on parlay play, which is over here, which is what I want to tell you guys. Don't just put all your coin on one place. Always shop around. They had it at 19.5. I know it opened at 18.5. I wasn't sure if I was going to take it or I would have locked it in there. After a day chewing on it, I was like, well, I am going to take it. Unfortunately, they moved it on parlay play to 20.5 now. So now you have to take the decision. But what you could just do is take his 5.5 longest reception. If he does get a catch, it's usually for at least 6 yards. He's not supposed to be getting those. That's supposed to go to Justice Hill, but it has been happening, baby. So anything can happen. And his anytime TD, of course, is in the mix. It's in the mix. If they get in the goal line, they're going to feed. Is he going to get it? Who knows? And also, Derrick Henry's a second half demon. So you always got to consider King Henry. And then on the flip side of that, Chase Brown. I asked a dude in my Discord who thinks it's easy just to give plays, his favorite plays. This was the first one. 15.5 receiving yards goblin. Now, I like it. I took his regular at 23.5. It's now 24.5. I believe Parlay Play still has it at 23. There it is. On Parlay Play, it's 23.5 right there, and it pays 1.83. So you can get that a full yard discount over on Parlay Play if you did want to take this. But this guy in my Discord, Logan, is giving out the gobby. If you want to tail. Now, the Ravens are a pass funnel, which means they don't really give up a lot of yards on the ground through the run game. They give up their yards through the air. They're very bad through the air. So you want to attack Joe Burrow, which is what I did. And his line at 273, it could be fine, but I think my personal gut is saying just go ahead and take the Goblin at 239.5 or 249.5. Either one of those is fine. In fact, another play that Logan liked was the combo with Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson together, but as you could see, which would be right here, we did get it at 510, but as you can see, PrizePicks made Lamar Jackson a discount now at 210. So all you have to do is pair it with one play and get your thing. Now, real quick, did you guys use the taco strategy that I preach on every day in the live stream and on these YouTubes? Curry was the taco, Shy was a taco. All you had to do, take that taco, take the Goblin line, pair it with the other taco. If the tacos sweep, at a minimum, you're going to triple up your money. So if your max taco's 25, you would have made $75 yesterday just pairing Curry's Goblin with every taco. And then for the Curry pair itself, you could have used Shy's Goblin or whatever that hockey Goblin was. It's that simple, okay? So make sure you're paying attention in those live streams to the strategies that I preach, because it's not enough just to have a good read. You got to know how to make a lineup. You got to know how to hedge yourself. You got to know how to do second half. You got to know tricks of the trade and strategies, and that is what I'm here to help you with. Anybody can pick out a good play. Anybody can go to Outlier or DG and see the good play. That's nothing. That means nothing to me. It's understanding why it's a good play and how to turn it into coin. That's what's important. And it doesn't matter who you are, how good you are, you're going to lose. Yesterday, I pretty much reverse swept, and Big Bad Burr, the comment guy, swept basically. That's just how it's going to be. That's an anomaly multiverse timeline thing, but it happened, okay? It happened. You got to adjust your mindset. I'm begging you. So, Joe Burrow, Gabi? Or the reason why I'm taking a Gabi on PrizePicks and not giving the 273s because look over here on Parlay Play once again, baby. They got it. Joe Cool Burrow at 268.5 and it's 1.85x. That's crispy. Now, why in God's name would I give PrizePicks the satisfaction of taking it at 273.5 for the same payout when I can get it at 268.5 here? Why would I do that? Why would I give PrizePicks the satisfaction? You're right, I wouldn't. So I didn't do it. I gobbied it on PrizePicks and I took it over here on Parlay Plizzle because that's just how it is. And the link for Parlay Play is in the description, but the code, like always, is CRUSH. And check this out, chat. You can see they got Lamar and him at 510, which is where it opened at. And it's still a decent payout. Now, you can see it's slightly different, 2.8x, but 2.8x is virtually 3x. You don't believe me? Check it out. $10 still would pay $27.90. So you leave $1.90 on the table, whatever, but you get that 2-yard differential. So always shop around. Right now, Parlay Play is hitting. So you can go with either one of those. And then if we run it back to PrizePicks and look at DG Fantasy, you can see my two favorites right here. Mark Andrews, remember, likely is dealing with that ankle. He's likely not playing. See what I did there? Never say never. He should be ruled out as of now, though, and staying out. But Mark Andrews, 3.5 receptions. -120, -138, -130. He was able to get 4 last time they played. This line is likely going to bump, period. It's most likely going up. But I also like the Andrews and Gesicki combo. Remember, the Ravens give up all the yards through the air. Now, I like Mike Gesicki. He crushed last week. Everybody crushed. But look, versus the Raiders 100, versus Philly 73, versus Baltimore last time 31. But it's a new day in Cincinnati, man. He's just been pumping. His fantasy scores in play, but I think this is the optimal one. You could have Andrews go for 70, and then Gesicki would only need to get 30 or vice versa. Both of these guys have high upside, Kate Otten style upside if they're used correctly, okay? So I do believe that either one of these is fine. And look, you can actually get 2.5x with this 2-man right here. It's actually really good. Now, I could go into Outlier and show you. Let me go into Outlier and show you guys real quick, just to back up what I'm saying. Now, check this out. Versus tight ends, Baltimore's ranked 30th. Overall, they're ranked 32nd. They're dead last. The biggest pass funnel in the league, baby. If this game shoots out, Gesicki should get fed. Period. Okay, he should get fed. His target share last game, he had 6 targets, 8 targets the game before that. I will concede this. This is the highest I've ever seen his line. It is very, very high, which is why I say take the combo and don't take his original line at 53.5 because you're buying high. I like to buy low and sell high. But if you want to take it, my brother and sister in Christ. It's your read. It's your gut call. Do whatever makes you happy. We're doing this to have a good time. And then you can see on the flip-flop, the Bengals are ranked 25 in receiving yards allowed to tight ends. And Mark Andrews is a good tight end, especially when he's healthy, especially if he's not going to be splitting snaps with any jabronis. He should be able to get it done and cook he will. Okay, I'm begging him to cook. Now, if you look at his receptions, you can see 2, 5, 4, 4, 5. Range of outcomes is likely 3.5, which is exactly where the line is. If you want to take his goblin receiving yards or his receptions, I can get down with either or, but I'm telling you, that combo looks crispy. If you ask me, it looks crispy. So I'm just going to go there. Or Gesicki's fantasy score like I talked about, or Andrews' reception. Either or, my brothers and sisters in Christ, you got to make decisions. Now, hopefully, Joe Cool Burrow throws it tonight and they don't just turn into a running game. But if they do, you got Chase Brown's receiving yards. You could take Chase Brown's anytime tutty if you'd like. All that stuff's in play. The kickers are always in play on Thursday night. Of course, the kickers are in play. Now, I do like Lamar Jackson 1.5 pass touchdowns too. I do like it. But now, since they made him the discount, I don't have to come up with a Lamar square, which is why I'm not talking about him, because we got the discount. Do the little Trump YMCA dance, baby, because we got a discount for Lamar, and it's hitting. Because I was going to take his pass yards anyway. Now they're giving me 27 yards off. It's hitting, and I'm taking it. My goal is to find 2 NBA, 2 NFL, put it in a 4-man, power that SOB, and then take the smaller ones, 1 and 1 and 1 and 1, mix and match, and bang! Just like last Thursday on Halloween, I scooped in 2K. I did it. I got receipts. Go back and watch that video. And I hope and pray that tonight is no different, because yesterday I got shelled, and I'm going to keep getting shelled because that's just the life we've chosen. You're going to get shelled from time to time, baby. It ain't a big deal. Bankroll management is key. Now, in my Discord right now, I put out the projection sheets, and I did put this sheet out as well, which gives you the player, their usage rate, their fantasy point per minute, their average fantasy point total, all that to help you with the fantasy scores. If you've been following this channel forever, you know my specialty is NBA fantasy scores. It's my favorite line to bet on, and I will continue to do it. And remember, there's only a 7 to 8 game sample size, but come mid-December, this sheet's going to be clutch because it'll give you the usage rate, their fantasy point per minute, average minutes. If you can project the minutes, you go to the calculator, you type it in, bang, bang, and you can come up with the fantasy point differentials and know who to target. And you can see right here, like I said, Chris Paul's averaging 1.099 fantasy points per minute. So it's crispy, period. That's in the Discord right now. In addition to that is the NFL projection sheets that look just like that. You get all of that, and you get the NBA projections as well. In addition to plays, lineups, and access to the live stream, which will be today at 5:15 Central like every day. And yesterday's live stream was hitting. Listen, we had a few misses yesterday. I'm not going to lie to you, but the live stream lineup I made went 3 of 4 if you flexed it. We had Durant, I had Jakob Poeltl in there, I had Powell in there, and I had one other person in there I can't remember, but he hit 2. 3 of 4, it is what it is. The community slip I think went 2 of 5 or 3 of 5. It just didn't break our way. A lot of the Raptors didn't get there. Grady Dick sold, he was in foul trouble. Chris Paul had blown out. A lot of people got blown out. It is what it is. We're coming right back today and making a community slip again because we don't care. I personally don't care. I'm the last person that cares if something chalks, folks. I don't care. All I care about is, did we get our coin in good? And if we did, okay. If not, how can we reevaluate? Yesterday, it was just blowouts, foul trouble. That's part of the mix. So I hope to see you in that live stream. And you can get in by going to CaptainCrush.net, slide down gold package, and that'll take you to this play right here. It is right here on the left, the gold package. Make sure you get in that, and that'll give you access to the live stream. So I hope to see you guys there. Folks, I appreciate you tuning in. Good luck in all your contests. Here's the salute. And as always, my brothers and sisters in Christ, let's crush.